Welcome to Man That's Cooking. In this video, we're going to show you how to make Pellet smoked cheesy broccoli rice. This is an excellent side dish for a holiday meal or for a barbecue with friends. Alright, first thing to do is to hand shred 16 ounces of cheddar cheese. And the reason why we're going to hand shred cheese instead of buying pre-shredded is because pre-shredded cheese contains chemicals. Once you shred that cheese, go ahead and put a little bit aside for a topping later in the cook. Next, we're going to shred 8 ounces of Swiss cheese. And you can combine whatever cheeses you like. And if you do pick your own cheese, stick with some soft cheese that melts easily. And finally, we're going to add 8 ounces of mozzarella into this shredded cheese bowl. And now it's time for the broccoli. So what we're going to do is cut off the big stems. Just take the florets and just cut them into small little bits. You want to make small little bite-sized chunks. You want to cut off any excessive little stem ends. Anything that's not really the floret ends at the top. And the next thing to do is to parboil this broccoli. So we're going to boil it for no more than 5 minutes. And what that's going to do is it's going to partially cook the broccoli. That's going to give it a head start because if you just put it on the smoker raw, it's not going to fully cook it. So after boiling it for 5 minutes, we're going to hit it with some cold water to shock it and stop the cooking process. Or you could put this in a bowl of ice water to cool it down, but this is easier. You should see the color is bright green now on the florets, and it's kind of tender. It's not really stiff as much as it is when it's raw, and that's what you're looking for. Just like that. Next, we're going to dice up a yellow onion. And then you want to fry it in a skillet on a medium temperature until it turns a little bit translucent and brown on the surface of the onion bits. You don't want to overcook it. Again, this is kind of like the broccoli. We're just going to be partially cooking so that we can give it a little bit of a head start. Alright, we're going to cook 2 cups of white rice, and we're going to use 32 ounces of chicken broth instead of water. And that's going to add some really good flavor to that rice. It's not going to be your usual white rice, no flavor. So cook the rice by normal instructions. Basically, bring the water to a boil, add the 2 cups of rice, let it simmer, cover, and cook for about 25 minutes or so. And you should be able to do this at the same time as frying the onions. Be sure to stir the rice every now and then. Make sure it's not sticking to the bottom of the pot. And once 25 minutes is up, take a check on it, fluff it up a bit, see if any of the rice is still kind of al dente or needs to cook a little bit longer. And if it's all good, just take it off the burner and set it aside. So now we're going to make a bechamel, which is one of the 4 mother sauces. You can ask your mom about it. This is a cheese sauce, and to start things out, we're going to make a roux. So we're going to start by melting 8 tablespoons of butter. That's 1 stick. And we're going to slowly incorporate a half cup of all-purpose flour. And you'll see it'll start to turn brown, and it'll start to have a nice nutty smell to it. Once you add all the flour, it's time to slowly incorporate 1 quart of milk. You want to have this milk at about room temperature or a little bit colder, not straight out of the fridge. That way the temperature change isn't so drastic when you pour it into the pot here. And this burner is on a medium heat, just in case that wasn't mentioned. But by the way, all the instructions and ingredients are in the description of this video as always. All of our videos have that in the description, or you can visit our website, manthat'scooking.com, and find this video, and you'll have the instructions there as well. So just keep adding in the milk, incorporating that in, and we're going to do a thickness check here. Most of the milk is added at this point, but just check the back of your spoon. That looks good. Alright, we're going to put the rest of the milk in, And then it's time to slowly start adding in the cheese and keep the burner at medium. Now, I don't know, man's being a little wimpy here. You could probably add a little bit more cheese than this at a time, but just don't dump the whole thing in at once. That's kind of bad. So you're probably thinking, man, I could use this sauce for other stuff. It doesn't have to be rice and broccoli. It could be parboiled potatoes and cheese on the smoker. Oh yeah, or even in the oven. Doesn't have to be on the smoker. There's lots of good stuff you could do with a cheese sauce. Alright, so about halfway through this, we're going to switch to a whisk as this sauce starts to get really thick and starting to get a little bit much for the spoon. So you can see with all that cheese grinding and cheese sauce stirring that you kind of get a workout here, which is good because this is a pretty high calorie dish here, and you probably want to preemptively burn calories before you eat this. Alright, so dump the rest of the cheese in once you get to the bottom of the bowl there, and now we're just going to add the other ingredients. So we're going to put in the fried onions, followed by the parboiled broccoli, and go ahead and stir that up. And next we're going to slowly incorporate the rice, and that's mainly because the rice is probably clumpy by now, and you don't want to have clumps of rice in here. You want to try and break it down with the spoon and stir it up. So you might be wondering, can I make this ahead of time, a day or two or whatever? Yeah, a day is good. Don't go farther than a day. It might get a little funky. But there's one thing that's really important. You want to cover this with saran wrap on the surface of the bechamel, the cheese sauce. You should Google storing bechamel in a refrigerator overnight, and you'll see that there's some health concerns with doing so, but it should be relatively safe as long as you have saran wrap on the surface of the sauce. Alright, so we're going to transfer this mixture into a deep style lasagna. I think it's a 9x13 pan. Go ahead and even it out with a spoon and then seal it. Push down on that saran wrap. Try and make sure it sticks to the cheese sauce. Alright, it's the next day and we're going to put this on the smoker. So here's that shredded cheddar that was set aside. We're just going to put it on top now as a topping. Now you want to set your pellet smoker at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. You can use pecan, apple, some type of light fruit wood. Don't do anything harsh like hickory or mesquite. You might regret that. And this cook is going to be roughly about 3.5 hours. And you can kind of also judge by the color of the melted cheese on the top and just how brown it is. And you don't want it getting too excessively brown. So this is the color we get right here after 3.5 hours, and it's time to let it cool down. Alright, let's see what we've got. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, take a look at that. You don't even see the rice. It's like so well incorporated into everything, into the cheese. So hey, thanks for watching this video. If you try it, let us know how it came out in the comments section. Click like, click subscribe, check us out at manthat'scooking.com. Thanks for watching.